Can you still remember when little things made you happy? And can you still remember when simple things made you smile? Life can be so simple if you can only see. Whatever happened to those days? Whatever happened to those nights? Can you still remember when little things made you sad? Can you still remember when simple things made you sad? Is it just me, or is it just us feeling lost in this world? Why do we have to cause this pain? Why do we have to weep tears? Please tell me we're not alone in this world, fighting the wind. Life can be simple if you could only see the best is yet to come.
Alright, everybody. Hello and good evening. Welcome back to Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes Revisited. Am I coming through okay? Alright, sweet. I am beyond frustrated with what my internet's doing to me. And I'm so close to throwing everything out the window and smashing it home. But here's hoping it stays. I swear to God, if it disconnects completely, I'll be so pissed. Let's just keep moving forward. Make sure everything's synced. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Sync. Alright. Let's just get right down to it. Where we last left off. To stop the launch from the new type of nuclear warhead, Snake must either use the detonation code, emergency override key at the underground maintenance base, or destroy Metal Gear itself. While Snake heads down to the large cargo elevator from the blast furnace to get to the lower level of the underground maintenance base, he hears from Master Miller that Naomi could be a spy. Snake cannot believe it, but all he can do now is try and stop the launch. I think we're right outside. Yeah. I remember how this go. We're about to start another boss fight. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with those birds.
What's that?
Welcome, Cossack. This is the end of the road for you, right, my friends? They're becoming excited. Ravens aren't scavengers like most people think. They're simply returning to the natural world, that which is no longer needed. Sometimes they even attack wounded foxes.
You were the one in the M1 tank? Must have been a tight fit for a big boy like you.
But that was no true battle. The Ravens and I were testing to see what kind of man you were. The judgment is decided. The Ravens say you are a true warrior.
Am I hallucinating? I can't move.
The Raven has put the mark of death upon you. Blood from the east flows within your veins. Your ancestors too were raised on the barren plains of Mongolia. Inuit and Japanese are cousins to each other. We share many ancestors, you and I.
There's no crows in my family tree.
You ready? I am not fond of snakes, but you are family, so I cannot complain. But there will be no holding back. You live in Alaska, too. You know of the World Eskimo Indian Olympics.
With that strength, you must have been training in the stick pull and four-man carry.
Yes, you are right. But there is another event that I excel at. It is called the ear pull. It's an event where two opponents pull each other's ears while enduring the harsh cold. It tests spiritual as well as physical strength.
You want to pull each other's ears?
The form is different, but the spirit is the same. Rejoice, Snake! Ours will be a glorious battle.
This isn't glorious. It's just plain killing. Violence isn't a sport.
Well, we will see if there is iron in your words.
Running time. Yeah, I'm not using the Stinger missile. I am going to use all of excuse me. All of the claymores that I've been picking up with my abs. He's bound to run into all of these eventually. Oop, not this one. Oh! Just need to remember my football. Alternatively, I can also use this. Oh, damn it, he saw it. Oh, that's not good. God dang it. Or my own minds. Oh, he saw it. running. I don't know where he is. Oh, crap. Oh, this is bad. I only have 3 stun grenades? Ah, dang it.
Snake, are you okay? Snake! Snake!
This is a stupid idea. Very stupid idea. Oh, that didn't even take off much. You gotta be kidding me. I don't think I ever did a stamina kill on the Vulcan Raven before. I always just used the claymores and the key misses. Stun grenades aren't doing shit on him. Ah, damn it. Burn through all these rations if I can get a stamina kill. Oh, shit! kind of works. Oh my god, unequip! Jesus! Fucking god! There's not one goddamn thing that's another. There we go. So much easier to just use the explosives.
Just as the boss said, it is my existence which is no longer needed in this world. But my body will not remain in this place. My spirit and my flesh will become one with the ravens. In that way, I will return to Mother Earth who bore me. Snake! I will be watching you. Understand? Snake, take this security card. It will open that door.
Why?
You are a snake which was not created by nature. You and the boss, you are from another world. A world that I do not wish to know. Go and do battle with him. I will be watching from above. First, I'll give you a hint. The man you saw die before your eyes,
Which one?
that was not the DARPA chief. It was Decoy Octopus, a member of Foxhound. He was a master of disguise. He copied his subjects down to the blood, so he drained the chief's blood and took it into himself. But he wasn't able to deceive the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death.
I'll
But
get that
why
one in
go
a
to
second.
so much trouble? Why impersonate the chief?
That is the end of my hint. You must solve the rest of the riddle yourself. Snake. In the natural world, there is no such thing as boundless slaughter. There is always an end to it, but you are different.
What are you trying to say?
The path you walk on has no end. No matter how far you go, or how many corpses you crawl over, the killing will never end. It's a future without hope. Hear me, Snake. My spirit will be watching you.
Snake, it's me.
Master?
It's about Naomi. Turn your monitor off.
What about Naomi?
Damn.
Colonel, is Naomi there?
No, she's away. She's taking a short nap. So what is this about Naomi?
Okay, maybe we'd better let the Colonel hear this too.
Yeah. Go on, Master.
Well, basically, Dr. Naomi Hunter is not Dr. Naomi Hunter at all.
What?
I thought her story of her background sounded kind of fishy, so I checked it out.
And?
There is an actual Dr. Naomi Hunter, or I should say, there was one. But she's not the woman we know. The real Naomi Hunter disappeared somewhere in the Middle East. Our Naomi must have somehow obtained her identification papers.
So then who is she really?
She must be some kind of spy.
A spy?
Yes. Maybe she's been sent to sabotage this operation.
Are you saying she's with the terrorists?
I don't want to believe it either, but she is working for Foxhound.
So, you think she had a part in the uprising?
Or she could be working with some different group altogether.
A different group? It couldn't be.
Place her under arrest, Colonel.
What?
She's betrayed us, Colonel.
The lolly
She
do
needs to be
low.
arrested and interrogated to find out who she's with.
If she's one of their spies, then we're in big trouble.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing.
Colonel, have you let her in on some kind of vital secret or something? Does this have anything to do with the mysterious deaths of the DARPA chief and the arms tech president?
I have no idea.
Anyway, we cannot allow her to participate any further in this mission.
Wait a minute. Without her, we can't complete this mission.
I knew it. You're hiding something.
Give me some time. I'll try to get it out of her.
Hurry then. We've got to figure out who she is and what she's doing here.
I understand. Snake, give me some time.
I don't have any time left for you.
Okay, to answer your first question, not so much a no kills run, but a minimal kills run, because there are points that are like completely unavoidable, namely the shootout in the prison. Unless you're able to get the M9 in the not the disposal area, but the beginning area, which it wasn't. I wasn't able to get the M9 until I got to the second floor basement. So that was unavoidable. There's also the shootout at the very end. That's also unavoidable. So yeah, this is a minimal kills. I have no more rations. But we do have the 7th level card, so I'm actually going to backtrack and go back up to the comm towers, because there is a door required a level 7 card. As for the Vulcan cannon, there's no way Snake could have been able to carry that thing. He would have trouble carrying the gun. The magazine, on the other hand, way too big for him. That thing's meant for an aircraft. Like, the drum magazine for that thing was bigger than Snake. Yeah, that's where I'm heading. I'm heading to the snowfield. Wait a minute. Okay. It's not like I have a whole lot left out anyways. After that, after Vulcan Raven's warehouse, it's just the, it's like another hallway before I reach the hangar. But most of the time when I fight against Vulcan Raven, I just use the Claymores and the Kita missile. Mainly because I think by that time I've used up all my Pentazemin to even try and use the Trank rifle. I rarely ever stand to kill Vulcan Raven. So we got here the blast furnace. God dang it. Yeah, leave before he calls in the... Hopefully the gun cameras are out. Okay, yeah, they're still out. The pup's still there. That's it, just Stinger missiles? All that for a bunch of Stinger missiles that I don't even use? Okay, there's a couple other stuff in here that I can. Oh, that's not good. At least one more ration. All right, that's good enough. Is there any more of that? That's what I need. Nope, not Nikita missiles. Oh, that bandage. That. Get some more trank rifle rounds. Especially when I get to Metal Gear's hangar. Nope. Alright, I'll have to make do. Well, that door was a bust. Here's hoping I'm running in trouble on the way back down. Oh no, he's still asleep. Okay. Stay there. This is still clear. I'm trying to remember which instances one of these rooms would be filled with claymores. Because I know it does happen.
Naomi wasn't acting strangely or anything.
No. I just can't believe that Naomi's an enemy spy. I refuse to accept that.
I don't want to believe it either, but...
Don't say it, Snake.
Mm-hmm. No, there's two of them. Where's this guy? Oh. Don't really need it, but thank you. Actually, it's I don't need a posture check. I just need to clear my nose. Thank you for that. there's another one. And there's a bunch of... Oh no, there's just... Okay. Just those 2 gun cameras. Easy enough. Jesus Christ. Mike! Oh, he's up there. Nope. Nope. No, this is just me giving you guys fun, and I'm paying the price for it because I'm the one that put those in there. Metal Gear. I wonder if I can be able to see it from here. Might not be. Might have to go higher. What happens when we call Loticon?
It looks like they've finished getting Metal Gear ready.
How do you know that?
I overheard them talking. Where are you now?
Right in front of Metal Gear. But it's strange.
What is?
There's nobody here. No guards, no mechanics. It's too quiet.
Maybe because they're all ready. They said they even input the PAL codes.
What should I do?
All we can do is use the override system that President Baker told you about.
But I've only got one of the 3 keys. And besides that, like Ocelot said, there's some trick to using the keys.
Leave it to me.
You got some kind of plan?
Well, I'm in the computer room right now. I'm trying to access Baker's private files.
Baker's files? Don't you need a password?
Of course. But there are ways.
Are you a hacker?
Yep. That describes me pretty well.
Does it look like you can get in?
Like the
I
glint on
don't
his
know
glasses.
yet. I'll give it a try.
I'm counting on you.
No, there's guards. There's just some higher levels. You just can't see them.
Huh? Was there a noise just now?
Oh, he's coming down this way. Perfect. Now I wait. And as for you, one less to worry about.
Is there somebody?
Go to sleep.
Snake, it's me again.
How's it going?
Not bad. I just got past his 3rd security level. He was a pretty careful guy.
Do you think you'll break in soon?
I've never met a system I couldn't bust into.
Okay. Keep trying.
Oh, they're inside. That looks like Ocelot.
Huh? What's that?
Crap. Here comes one. Oh, he's got to come all the way over here anyways. Let him come.
Snake, I did it.
You got past security?
Bingo.
Great. So what do you got?
I accessed the confidential Metal Gear file.
So what about the PAL override system that Baker talked about?
Haven't found it yet.
That's what I need to know.
But Snake, I found something else.
What?
The secret behind the new nuclear weapon. Just as I thought, the nuclear warhead is designed to be fired from the railgun like a projectile. It doesn't use fuel, so it isn't considered a missile. That way it can get around all sorts of international treaties.
Pretty sneaky.
Yes, but effective. And that's not even the scariest thing about this weapon.
I can't wait to hear this.
It's a stealth weapon.
You mean it won't show up on radar?
Yeah. The truth is, they've been working on a stealth missile since the late 70s.
Why weren't they able to develop one up until now?
Because of the missile's rocket propulsion system. It would be picked up by enemy satellites.
Because of that?
But unlike a missile, the railgun doesn't burn any propellant, so it can't be detected by any current ballistic missile detection systems.
An invisible nuclear warhead.
Totally impossible to intercept. And on top of that, it's got a surface-piercing warhead designed to penetrate hardened underground bases.
We learned that lesson in the Gulf War.
This thing could mean the end of the world.
It's the ultimate weapon. And from a political point of view, it avoids the problem of nuclear reduction and nuclear inspections. Colonel, is this true? Are you listening?
I'm listening.
It would push back the signing of the START 3 treaty. If word gets out about this weapon, it'd cause a whole world of trouble.
Yeah, it would be nasty. The United States would be denounced by the UN. It could even bring the president down.
Did you know this, Colonel?
I'm sorry.
You've changed, Colonel.
I won't make any excuses.
Snake, listen to me. This new nuclear weapon, it's never actually been tested. Only simulated.
You mean with VR experiments?
Yeah, that's why they were conducting this exercise. They needed to get actual experimental data to back up the simulation.
What were the results of the exercise?
It looks like it went better than they hoped for, but I can't find the data anywhere on this network. You'd think the data as important as that would be carefully recorded.
It was. President Baker gave me an optical disc with all of the test data.
What? Do you still have it?
No. Ocelot took it from me.
Damn.
The terrorists have replaced the dummy warhead with a real warhead. Once they input the detonation codes, they should be ready to launch.
So, you think they can do it?
Well, the dummy warhead was designed to be identical to the real thing, so I think so.
Did you find out how to override it yet?
Not yet. It must be in a separate file. Right now I'm looking through all of Baker's personal files.
We're counting on you.
Okay, this is the top section. I'm not gonna be able to see it. What was it? B. It's gotta be somewhere around here. Thing is, everything is so low resolution, it's hard to see it. Oh, the guys are awake. I wonder if it would show up on the thermal. Probably not. See it from this side. Where are you? Yeah, there's an Easter egg somewhere around here. I don't remember where. And then people have been making up theories because they found it.
What was that sound? Is there some...
Oh, I shot his radio. Haha.
Who's that?
Communication from the underground maintenance base has ceased. Backup unit, get over there.
Just imagining things.
God damn it, chicken. Where the hell are you?
What was that sound?
I see liquid pacing back and forth. I don't even know if it would show up on the thermals. No, it's nowhere near dark enough for the like, it's gotta be somewhere at the top of the hangar, and it's hidden. You gotta find it from like a certain angle. I'm trying out my eyes, just trying to look for it. I was like, is that on this side? Like, I don't even know if you guys can be able to see what I'm looking at. Alright, whatever. But, shit. There's something up here. It's, I forgot what it is. I think it's like a diamond shape, but it's one of the targets that you find when you're, doing VR missions. And it's like hidden all the way up here. Just for no reason at all. But a lot of people have been theorizing, like, why it's up there in this game.
Snake.
I can never find it.
No, I haven't found out about the override system yet, but I found Baker's ulterior motive.
He's just looking to get rich, isn't he?
That's part of it. Arms Tech is in much worse financial trouble than I thought.
I know they lost their bid to make the next generation fighter jet. That, plus the reduction in SDI spending.
It looks like there was even some talk of a hostile takeover.
Everything was riding on this project, I guess.
And it looks like they were paying a lot of bribe money to the DARPA chief.
Bribe money, huh?
Yeah. And Baker was a big proponent of the nuclear deterrent theory.
I see. So anyway, what about the override?
Just give me a little bit longer.
Is that absolutely necessary?
Okay, I've entered the PAL codes and disengaged the safety device. We can launch anytime.
There's still no response from Washington. It looks like we'll have to show them that we mean business.
Should I set it for Cherniton, Russia?
No. There's been a change. The new target is Lopnor, China.
Why, boss?
Liquid.
I'm sure neither you nor Mr. Golukovich would really like to see a nuclear bomb dropped on your motherland, right?
But why? There's nothing there.
Wrong. It's a nuclear test site.
A nuclear test site.
If we nuke a major population center, the game's over. But a nuclear explosion at a test site can still be concealed from the public. Meanwhile, Washington will be worried about the retaliatory strike from China.
That'll probably mean top-secret talks between both countries' leaders.
Of course. And in the process, the President will be forced to divulge the existence of a new and highly destabilizing nuclear weapon to the Chinese. What do you think that will do to the US's reputation? Or the President's?
And with the CTBT, that means that China and India... I see.
Yes. When the other countries hear about the new weapon, they'll all want to contact us. Washington won't be very happy when we start selling their own system to the highest bidders. Yes, the President will break. He will give in to our demands.
Big Boss's DNA and $1 billion.
$1 billion. All for money.
That money will be used to cure our genome soldiers as well. I'm also including the Fox-Die vaccine in our demands.
Fox-Die? It killed Octopus and the Arms Tech president. So it's true that it affects older people first. Mantis might not have been affected because he wore a mask.
Wolf wasn't infected either. Perhaps due to those tranquilizers she always took.
Something to do with amphetamine and adrenaline levels in the blood. They deployed a product still in development into live combat. No surprise it was unreliable. They must have been desperate.
In any case, have you heard from your friend Colonel Sergei Golukovich at Spetsnaz yet?
He still has doubts about the ability of Metal Gear. He said we can talk after Metal Gear's test launch is successful.
He's a very prudent man.
There's nothing to worry about. The Colonel wants Metal Gear and a new nuclear weapon so bad he can taste it. If Russia wants to regain its position as a military superpower, they need to reinforce their nuclear arsenal. They need a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. Metal Gear will allow them to gain first strike capability over the rest of the world.
Their regular army is in shambles, and they think they can restore their country's military power with nuclear weapons? That Golukovich, he's no warrior. He's a politician.
Maybe so, but he's the one who gave us the Hind and most of our other heavy firepower.
He's got over 1,000 soldiers under his command. If we joined forces, we could put up quite a resistance here. Since Mantis died, the genome soldiers' brainwashing has started to wear off. I'm worried about the men's morale. An alliance with the Russians would boost that as well.
What are you saying?
We're not going anywhere. We're going to dig in here. It's going to be a long war.
We could still escape.
We have the new nuclear power, and we're going to ally with Golukovich's forces.
Are you going to fight the whole world?
And what's wrong with that? Fighting the whole world? From here, we can launch a nuclear warhead at any target on this planet. A nuclear warhead invisible to radar and totally immune to interception. And on top of that, this base is full of spare nuclear warheads. Once we get the DNA and the money, the world will be ours.
But boss, what about your promise to Colonel Golukovich?
I have no interest in the revival of Mother Russia.
You're not thinking of reviving Big Boss's dream.
From today, you can call this place Outer Heaven.
Big Boss's dream.
Boss, you're not worried about the PAL being overridden? If the code is entered again, it'll be deactivated.
No need to worry. The DARPA chief and the Arms Tech president are both dead.
Does Snake know how the override system works?
You interrogated him, don't you know?
He didn't have any keys on him.
Good. Then no one can stop Metal Gear now.
By the way, what should we do with that woman? Want me to kill her?
Let her live. She's Campbell's niece, and Snake cares for her. We'll keep her as our ace in the hole.
Meryl, she's alive.
Snake, I found Baker's top secret files.
Great job.
How's it going there?
They've finished inputting the PAL codes. So, how do we deactivate them?
Okay, you see, the override system that the President was talking about, it can also be used to input the detonation codes. You see, if you insert the keys when the warhead is active, you deactivate it. And if you insert them when it's inactive, it becomes activated. And you can only use the keys once.
Only once, huh?
You need the keys for input. 3 of them.
But I only have the one. Where are the others?
Hold on a minute. You see, that's the trick. You already have all 3 keys.
What are you talking about?
The card key is made of a shape memory alloy.
Shape memory alloy?
Yes. It's a material that changes shape at different temperatures. The key is made out of it.
This card key?
Yeah. The card key changes shape at different temperatures.
So this key is actually 3 keys in one. Clever.
Can you see the input terminals in the center of the control room?
I see them.
Those 3 laptop terminals are for the emergency input. There should be a symbol on each screen. Each symbol corresponds to a different key. You input the keys in order from left to right. The left one's for the room temperature key. See the symbol? Next to that goes the low temperature key. The one on the right is the high temperature key.
Okay, I got it. First I change the shape of the card, and then I input them in order, right?
That's right. All you do is insert the card keys. After you insert the key into the module, a hard disk reads the information contained on it. Once you've finished with all 3 terminals, the code input process
I feel like
is
they're just
complete.
watching him from the
But here's
security
the thing.
camera.
You can only use the key 3 times. It's an emergency system, and it's only meant to be used once.
The world is riding on that key, Snake.
Who's that?
Butterfingers.
The key fell in the drainage ditch.
Snake! This is bulletproof glass. There's no way in. I'll enjoy watching you die.
Snake, you've got to get that key.
Oh, people are still asleep. I don't have to worry about them. There's one over there. I thought I'd be on alert by now. That's okay. Knock you out. And the other ones are on here. Dang textures. Got my hopes up and everything. But yeah, anyways. Theory is that this whole thing is actually just a VR mission. And we're not playing as Snake. We're playing as Raiden, who's going through the Shadow Moses incident. You are almost awake. Go back to sleep. Maybe, but it makes sense for all the crazy flips and shit that Snake does in this compared to how he acts in the original. Because he doesn't do this flips and shit, but Raiden does. Without it looking horrible. Well, the thing is, that's the only... he doesn't even do it in Guns of the Patriots. Even in his old age. Oh, where's the... I need to find it. Nope! Toss that! I think the dude woke up. Rat might have eaten it.
The terrorists are finished inputting the detonation codes. The only way to stop the launch now is to re-input the detonation codes to lock the detonation mechanism. You need that card key to do it. Find that card key, Snake. There's no other way.
Find that card key. It fell somewhere in that drainage ditch. Use your mine detector.
Mine detector?
Yes. The mine detector works just like a metal detector. The position of the card key should show up on your radar screen.
I've been doing that, unless... Hang on.
Snake,
oh, he answers.
Did you find the card key?
No, it's not here.
Don't be ridiculous. You saw it fall into the drainage ditch, didn't you? The drainage ditch. Isn't there something odd about it?
No. There are a lot of big rats, though.
That's it, Snake. A rat must have eaten it.
Now who's being ridiculous?
No, I'm right. There's no other possibility. Rats eat all sorts of things. There's nothing unusual about that.
It's been a while since I had to deal with the rat situation.
Huh?
Like, that's where it comes out. I'm almost out of Pentasmin. Sons of Liberty wasn't... Oh, I just heard the rat. How'd I do this? Was this a C4? There you are, you little shit! Well, wait for that. Yeah, Sons of Liberty is not so much a like a VR simulation. It actually happened.
Return to your positions. Tighten security.
But it's more for Raiden, who's gone through the Shadow Moses mission and through VR training. God damn.
Return to your positions. Stay sharp.
Gotcha. Okay. Now to get to work. I'm almost out of
Is there somebody? Who is that?
I need to find some more M9 ammo.
Huh? What's that? Who's that?
There. Oh, no, stun grenade.
PAL code number 1 confirmed. Awaiting PAL code number 2.
Okay, that takes care of PAL code number 1. Now, PAL number 2. Freeze the key.
Normally for that, you'd have to backtrack a long way. But luckily, they put in a time saver for this. If I go over here... There we go, that's where I need to go. I'll just go straight all the way around.
Huh? Was there a noise just now?
Oh, he's gonna wake up the other dude. Shit. Go back to sleep. Yeah, that's where they made it easier, because if you actually go all the way over here... There is... Here we go. Nope. It's this side? No. Right over here. There we go. Oh! God dang it!
Snake, answer me! Snake!
Missed it.
Snake!
I didn't grab it quick enough.
Huh? Was there a noise just now?
Excuse me. Yes, Butterfingers indeed. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright. So yeah, normally you'd have to go to the furnace or the warehouse. Here, you got something that'll solve both problems. So we just need the PAL key here, and then we need to freeze it, so we gotta hit the liquid nitrogen. Reflexes like a rock. Are you kidding me?
Who is that?
Go to sleep. I'm about to start killing all of you. I'm running out of tranquilizer rounds.
PAL code number 2 confirmed. Awaiting PAL code number 3.
Okay, there goes PAL code number 2. Next comes PAL number 3. Warm the key.
No, they were just added for twin snakes because one, you weren't even able to aim in first person anyways. And you'd have to be precise to try and aim for those pipes because they're right next to each other. Just put the key between her butt cheeks. I'm pretty sure his butt cheeks would just crush it. And catch!
Snake, it's about Naomi Hunter.
Then you should talk to the Colonel. He's looking into it.
Turn your monitor off.
Okay, it's off. No one else can hear us. Go ahead.
Sorry, but I didn't want the Colonel to hear.
Okay, so what's up?
I've got a good friend in the Pentagon.
Yeah?
He's the one who told me about it. It looks like the DIA recently developed a new type of assassination weapon.
An assassination weapon?
Snake, have you ever heard of something called Fox Dye?
No. Fox dye? Liquid and the others were talking about it.
Yeah. It's some kind of virus that targets specific people. I don't know all the details, but...
What are you trying to say?
It's too similar.
What is?
The cause of death. Didn't the Arms Tech president and the DARPA chief, Decoy Octopus, die of something that looked like a heart attack?
Yeah?
Well, apparently Fox Dye kills its victims by simulating a heart attack.
No. You're telling me that Naomi was behind it?
Snake, try to remember. Did Naomi give you some kind of injection?
The nanomachines.
She was in the best position to have done it, but I don't know what her motive was.
Does the Colonel know?
I'm not sure, but he still hasn't questioned her.
Okay, I'll ask him myself. Colonel, what's new with the Naomi situation?
I just placed Naomi under arrest.
Arrest?
She was sending coded messages toward the Alaskan base. I didn't want to believe it, but she must be working with the terrorists.
Are you sure?
I'm afraid so. She's being interrogated now.
What kind of interrogation?
Well, I'd like to avoid the rough stuff, but we don't even have any sodium pentothal here.
Call me if you find out anything.
So, it's true, isn't it?
Naomi, I can't believe it.
That means the Fox Dye vaccine must be around somewhere.
Is that all you think about?
But Snake, you might be infected too, you know.
All I can do is leave it up to the Colonel.
He's not working with the terrorists, he's walking with the lolly-lulay-low.
Snake, can you hear me? It's Naomi.
Naomi, what the hell?
Campbell and the others are busy right now. I'm on a different codec.
Naomi, is what the Colonel says true?
Yes, but not everything I said was a lie.
Who are you?
I don't know anything. My parents' face is my name. The name and ID I have now I just bought. But the reason why I study genetics, that was true.
'Cause you want to know yourself, right?
That's right. I want to know where I came from. My age, my race, anything.
Naomi.
I was found in Rhodesia sometime in the 80s. A dirty little orphan.
Rhodesia? What's now known as Zimbabwe?
Yes. Rhodesia was owned by England until 1965, and there were lots of Indian laborers around. That's probably where I got my skin color from, but I'm not even sure about that.
Naomi, you're too worried about the past. Isn't it enough to understand who you are now?
Understand who I am now? Why should I? No one else tries to understand me. I was alone for so long, until I met my big brother. And him.
Your big brother?
Yes. Frank Yeager.
What?
He was a young soldier when he picked me up near the Zambezi River. I was half dead from starvation, and he shared his rations with me. Yes. Frank Yeager. The man who you destroyed was my brother and my only family.
No. Gray Fox.
We survived that hell together, Frank and I. He protected me. He is everything to me. The only proof I have of my existence. Of my existence as an individual.
And he brought you back to America?
No. I was in Mozambique when he came.
Who's he? You mean Big Boss?
Yes. He brought us to this land of freedom. This America. But then he and my brother went back to continue the war. And that's when it happened. You killed my benefactor and sent my brother home a cripple. I vowed revenge and joined Foxhound. I knew it was my best chance to meet you, and I prayed for the day that I would.
So, were your prayers answered?
Yes. I waited 2 long years.
To kill me? Is that all you cared about?
Yes, that's right. 2 years. You were all I thought about for 2 long years. Like some kind of twisted obsession.
Do you still hate me?
Not exactly. I was partly wrong about you.
What about Liquid and the others?
I'll have my revenge on them too.
Naomi, you didn't kill that doctor too, did you? The one that used Gray Fox for his genome experiments.
Dr. Clark? No. That was my brother. Afterward, I covered it up and helped him hide out.
So that ninja, I mean Gray Fox, he's come here to kill me.
I don't think so. I think he just came here to fight you. I wasn't sure before, but now I think I understand. A final battle with you. That's all he lives for. I'm sure of it.
Fox. Naomi, tell me something.
About Foxdie? Foxdie is a type of retrovirus that targets and kills only specific people. First, it infects the macrophages in the victim's body. Foxdie contains smart enzymes, created through protein engineering. They're programmed to respond to specific genetic patterns in the cells.
Those enzymes recognize the target's DNA?
Right. They respond by becoming active and using the macrophages. They begin creating TNF-epsilon.
Huh?
It's a type of cytokine, a peptide which causes cells to die. The TNF-epsilon is carried along the bloodstream to the heart, where they attach to the TNF receptors in the heart cells.
And then, they cause a heart attack.
The heart cells suffer a shock and undergo an extreme apoptosis. Then, the victim dies.
Apoptosis? You mean the heart cells commit suicide? Naomi.
What?
You must have programmed that thing to kill me too, right? Do I still have time? Naomi, I don't blame you for wanting me dead, but I can't go yet. I still have a job to do.
Listen, Snake. I'm not the one who made the decision to use Fox dye.
Huh? You weren't?
No. You were injected with Fox dye as a part of this operation. I just wanted to let you know that... No. That's not the whole truth.
Huh?
The real thing that I wanted to tell you was... Snake...
Hey! What are you doing?
Snake...
Naomi?
Snake, I can't allow Naomi to make any more unauthorized transmissions.
What?
Naomi's been removed from this operation.
What happened to Naomi? What did she mean when she said that Fox dye was a part of this operation? Colonel, let me talk to her.
I won't. She's under arrest.
Colonel, you double-crossed me.
Snake, there's no time for that. Right now, your job is to stop Metal Gear. Okay, Snake?
Freeze. Freeze.
No. Please. Don't.
You go sleep. You go sleep. Doug. And last but not least, finally.
PAL code number 3 confirmed. PAL code entry complete. Detonation code activated. Ready for launch.
No! Why?
Oops.
I deactivated it.
Thank you, Snake. Now the detonation code is completed. Nothing can stop Metal Gear now.
Master, what's going on?
You found the key, and even activated the warhead for us too. I really must express my gratitude. Sorry to have involved you in that silly shape memory alloy business.
What are you talking about?
We weren't able to learn the DARPA chief's code. Even with Mantis' psychic powers, he couldn't read his mind. Then Ocelot accidentally killed him during the interrogation. In other words, we weren't able to launch the nuclear device, and we were all getting a little worried. Without the threat of a nuclear strike, our demands would never be met.
What do you mean?
Without the detonation codes, we had to find some other way. That's when I decided you might prove useful, Snake.
What?
Well, for starters, I had Decoy Octopus disguise himself as the DARPA chief. We thought we'd get the info from you, but there was Fox dye.
You mean you had this plan from the beginning? Just to get me to input the detonation code?
You didn't think you made it this far by yourself, did you?
Who the hell are you?
Somebody say it for me.
The launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Fox dye vaccine to me. Their ace in the hole is useless now.
Ace in the hole?
The Pentagon's plan to use you was already successful in the torture room. Snake, you're the only one who doesn't know. Poor fool.
Who are you anyway?
I'll tell you everything you want to know. If you come to where I am, that is.
Where are you?
Very close by.
Snake, that's not Master Miller.
Campbell, you're too late.
Master Miller's body was just discovered at his home. He's been dead for at least 3 days. I didn't know because the codec link with Master was cut off. But Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
So who is it?
Snake, you've been talking to...
Me, dear brother.
Liquid! How the...
You've served your purpose. You may die now.
But what will happen to Miller's maxi funds now? Okay, just get the mask on. A lot of cotton.
Snake, that's bulletproof glass. You can't break it with an ordinary weapon.
Can't you open the security lock here?
I'll try.
Billy!
Just hold on for a minute.
God, that's a callback.
I hacked into security. Snake, I'm opening the door.
Liquid!
Liquid!
Snake, did you like my sunglasses? Oh, you'd point a weapon at your own brother?
Why did you disguise yourself as Master?
So I could manipulate you more easily. You performed quite well, I must say. Although the boys at the Pentagon are probably saying the same thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
Following orders blindly with no questions asked? You've lost your warrior's pride and become nothing more
I
than
thought they
a
were
pawn,
Ray-Bans.
Snake.
What?
Stopping the nuclear launch, rescuing the hostages, it was all just a diversion.
A diversion?
The Pentagon only needed you to come into contact with us. That's what killed the Arms Tech president and decoy octopus.
You don't mean...
That's right. You were sent here to kill us, so they could retrieve Metal Gear undamaged along with bodies of the Genome soldiers. From the beginning, the Pentagon was just using you as a vector to spread Fox Dye.
Fox Dye? It can't be. Are you telling me Naomi was working with the Pentagon?
They thought she was, but it seems that Dr. Naomi Hunter couldn't be controlled so easily.
What?
We've got a spy working in the Pentagon. He reported that Dr. Hunter altered Fox Dye's program just before the operation, but no one knows how or why.
I wonder. Maybe they arrested her so they could find out the answer to that.
No doubt. But I had no idea she was motivated by such petty revenge. We still don't know what changes she made to Fox Dye's program. Oh well, doesn't matter. I've already added the Fox Dye vaccine to my list of White House demands.
There's a vaccine?
There must be, but that woman is the only one who really knows. Anyway, it might prove to be unnecessary.
Yeah? Why's that?
You were successful in coming into contact with all of us, so we must have all been exposed to the virus. It's true that the Arms Tech president and decoy octopus were killed by Fox Dye. But Ocelot, myself, and you, the carrier, were apparently unaffected.
A bug in the virus's programming?
Could be. In any case, if it doesn't kill you, then I'm not worried either. After all, our genetic code is identical.
So it's true. You and I are...
Yes, twins. But we're not ordinary twins. We're twins linked by cursed genes. Les enfants terribles. You're fine. You got all of the old man's dominant genes. I got all the flawed, recessive genes. Everything was done so that you would be the greatest of his children. The only reason I exist is so they could create you.
So you're saying I'm the dominant one?
That's right. I'm just the leftovers of what they used to make you. Can you understand what it's like to know that you're garbage since the day you were born? But I'm the one Father chose.
So that's why you're so obsessed with Big Boss.
You sure that wasn't
Some
Venom
warped
Snake?
kind of love.
Ha! Love? It's hate. His choosing me, knowingly, to be the inferior one? For this, I want revenge. You don't even understand this. You, who could kill your own real father. You stole my chance for revenge. Now I'll finish the work that Father began. I will surpass him. I will destroy him!
You're just like Naomi.
Well, I'm not like you. Unlike you, I'm proud of the destiny that is encoded into my very genes. You missed your last chance. You'll regret that forever.
Snake! Come! Kneel down and sacrifice yourself to this historic weapon! Consider it an honor! A gift from your brother! Now, you shall bear witness to the demon weapon that will drag the world
Into the 21st century!
It's only a little bit different than Sahelanthropus. I guess we should have no problem trying to pilot this. Or so he thinks.
Stop it!
Time to fight my favorite Metal Gear. Snake, what was your bright idea with that?
Snake, Rex's armor is impregnable. You can't do any damage with the weapons you've got. Rex uses the latest advances in compound armor. The only way you can pierce it is with a high-performance heat round.
So what do I do?
Rex's pilot seat operates exactly like a VR system. It's got multiple sensors connected to a high-tech interface used for the controls. It's completely self-enclosed and shut off from the outside environment.
He's not using his naked eyes.
That's right. So if you could somehow destroy the sensors... Do you see that round plate on Rex's left arm?
Yeah, that thing that looks like a shield.
That's a radome. If you can destroy that thing, it won't be able to use its electronic equipment.
So he'll be blinded.
Yeah. Try to hit that radome with a Stinger missile.
So will that stop it?
No. Rex was designed so it can be controlled manually, too.
Oh, great.
The part that looks like a beak is where the pilot seat is. In an emergency, it will open up. Rex's armor is perfect. You can't destroy it.
You told me that already.
But the interior is a different story.
I get it. First I destroy the radome. That will force him to open up the pilot's seat.
Right. If you can shoot a missile into the cockpit, you'll destroy the computer control system.
You intentionally designed it with a weak point?
It's not a weak point. More like a weakness. People and weapons just aren't very appealing without a weakness of some kind. Don't you think?
I guess so. I owe you one, Otacon.
Snake, there's nothing I can do to help you. All I can do is cheer you on.
You can save my game.
Don't give up.
All right, go time. Radome, please. You gotta be shitting. Oh, not the crotch laser. I don't think it did. I don't know. I think just because I was out of range of the radome. I'm gonna try it. He was aiming at other parts of it. No, the Stinger's fine. I was just too far away. Yeah, it's aiming for the gun first at a bad angle. Maybe it is. Oh yeah, it locks on. Yeah, it locks on. It's just the angle's bad. I gotta try and make it face this way. God damn! Jesus! There we go.
Did that do it? Damn!
Nice try, Snake!
Hurry! Get away! Gray Fox! A name from long ago. It sounds better than Deep Throat. So it is you. You look terrible, Snake. You haven't aged well.
I'll send you back to hell!
Strike pose!
Fox, why? What do you want from me? I'm a prisoner of death. Only you can free me. Fox, stay out of this. What about Naomi? She's hell-bent on taking revenge for you. Naomi? You're the only one who can stop her. No, I can't. Why? Because I'm the one who killed her parents. I was young then, and couldn't bring myself to kill her, too. Oh, I felt so bad that I decided to take her with me.
I've got you right where I want you!
My own blood to soothe my guilty conscience. Even now, she thinks of me as her brother. Fox, outwardly, we may have seemed like contented brother and sister, but every time I looked into her eyes, I trembled with fear. Tell her for me. Tell her that I was the one who did it.
There you are!
We're just about out of time. Here's a final present from Deep Throat. I'll stop it from moving. Fox!
Crotch laser!
In the Middle East, we don't hunt foxes, we hunt jackals. Instead of foxhounds, we use Royal Harriers!
Fox!
How strong is that exoskeleton of yours? Snake, are you just going to sit by and watch him die?
A cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal! destroyed the radome.
Impressive! You are indeed worthy of the codename Fox, but now you're finished!
Now, fire the stinger!
Fox! Can you really shoot? You'll kill him too!
Now, in front of you, I can finally die.
No good. I can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it.
I was taken from the battle, neither truly alive, nor truly dead. An undying shadow in a world of light. But soon it will finally end.
Yeah, you can just sit there that whole time. Missile.
Die! Fox! Snake, we're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Snake, farewell.
When death is entreated, the battle is decided. You see, you can't protect anyone. Not even yourself.
I remember when I first played this, I thought we were going to be given a chance to use that. But yeah, Snake is not the one who swings swords. He shoots guns.
Die!
Oh, no lock shot. Gotcha! And the no-lock shot.
Snake! I'll crush you into dust! Sleeping late as usual, eh, Snake?
I'm gonna mute for a second.
Liquid, you're still alive.
I won't die, as long as you still live.
Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure.
Just because you've destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I'm done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
The restoration of the era when warriors such as us lived as we should.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When he was young during the Cold War, the world needed men like us. We were valued then. We were desired. But things are different now. With all the liars and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get our $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict shall breed conflict, new hatreds will arise, and our own biosphere shall steadily expand.
But as long as there are people, there will always be war.
But the problem is balance. Father knew what type of a balance was best.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't that reason enough for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie! So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy all the killing, that's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
I watched your face as you delivered the coup de grace. Oh, it reflected such vitality.
You're wrong.
There is a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it. We were created to be that way.
Created?
Les enfants terribles. The terrible children. That's what the project was called. It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model was a man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
Big Boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells, with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the super baby method.
Super baby method?
They fertilized an egg with one of Father's cells, and then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus, and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth. You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes. The other 6 of our brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born. So, it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born.
The coma in Phantom Pain was a different coma.
You and I aren't his only children.
What?
He actually had a second coma during the early 70s.
They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic legacy.
It was like before the events of Peace Walker.
They carry it digitally. With the completion of the Human Genome Project in the last century, the mysteries of humanity were laid bare. Thanks to Father's DNA, they were able to identify more than 60 soldier genes responsible for everything from strategic thinking to the proverbial killer instinct. Those soldier genes were transplanted using gene therapy into the members of the next generation special forces. That's how they became the Genome Soldiers.
Yeah, it wasn't explicitly told in the games. It's kind of like you have to deep dive for that.
You've been killing right
but it's the reason why Big Boss left the Patriots and started
genes as ours.
Militaires Sans Frontières.
They are misshapen creatures, artificially produced from.
So by the time Peace Walker starts, he already knew about the project and left.
And they were born of many an ultimate sacrifice.
That's why he and Zero at odds at that point.
Human experiments. Huh? 1991, the Gulf War. The military secretly injected soldiers with the soldier genes. The Gulf War syndrome that hundreds of thousands of returning soldiers complained about was a side effect of it.
Ha! Everyone knows that the Gulf War syndrome was caused by exposure to pesticides and radiation from depleted uranium rounds.
That was just a cover story issued by the Pentagon. First, they tried to say it was post-traumatic stress disorder, then chemical or biological weapons. The poison gas detection units and the anti-sarin injections, they were all just to cover up the secret genetic experiments.
So then, the so-called Gulf War babies that have been reported by Gulf War veterans are...
Yes, they too are our brothers and sisters.
So the Genome Soldiers mean that the experiments were a success?
Success? Don't be a fool. They're a complete failure.
More of it gets explained in Guns of the Patriots.
What?
Have you ever heard of the asymmetry theory? Nature tends to favor asymmetry. Those species which have gone extinct all show signs of symmetry. The Genome Soldiers
by the time
from the
Peace
same
Walker
problem,
starts, he already knew about it,
symmetry.
but he didn't really care about it. He just wanted to be out of the
As do
Patriots
you.
because he doesn't like being used as a
That's right.
as
We
a kind
are
of
all
figurehead
on the verge of death
for the
at
Patriots.
the genetic level. We don't know when or what type of disease will occur. That's why we need the old man's genetic information.
You want Big Boss's DNA so you can save your family? It's very touching.
In nature, family members don't mate with each other, and yet they help each other to survive. Do you know why? Because it increases the chances that shared genes will be transmitted to future generations. Altruism among blood relatives is a response to natural selection. That we will help our blood relatives is inscribed in our very genes.
You're telling me that your genes are ordering you to save the Genome Soldiers?
You can't fight your genes. It's fate. All living things are born for the sole purpose of passing on their parents' genes. That's why I'll follow what my genes tell me. And then, I'm going to go beyond, in order to break the curse of my heritage. And to do that, first, I will kill you.
When
Look
Big
behind
Boss fell into the first coma in the early 70s, Zero realized that Big Boss would not be able to live forever, so he started the Les Enfants Terribles program to give him a legacy.
Is she alive?
I'm
But
not sure.
Big Boss didn't like
She
that.
was alive a few hours ago. Poor girl kept calling your name.
Meryl.
Stupid woman. Falling in love with a man who doesn't even have a name?
I have a name.
No. We have no past, no future. If we did, our fate is nothing but what is
Zero
determined
and
in the
Big Boss
genes
had
we inherited
differing,
from our father.
differing
Let Meryl
views of
go.
what the boss's last will was
As soon as
supposed
we
to be.
finished our business,
Neither of them were right.
we're almost out of time.
You're talking about Fox Die.
No. It seems now that the Pentagon knows that Metal Gear is destroyed. They've arrived at a decision. They won't even need a BDA. If you want the details, why don't you ask your precious Colonel Campbell?
Colonel, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening.
What is the Pentagon trying to do? Colonel, answer me.
The Secretary of Defense has taken over active control of this operation. He's on his way there by AWACS.
What for?
To bomb the place.
What?
Not only that, B-2 bombers just lifted off from Galena Air Force Base. They're carrying B-6113 surface-piercing tactical nuclear bombs.
What? Metal Gear is destroyed. Tell the Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of Defense heard that Naomi double-crossed us, and he's worried about Fox Die. Now that there's no more danger of a nuclear strike from Metal Gear, he's going to do whatever's necessary to cover up the truth of what really happened here.
He's going to drop a nuclear bomb to vaporize all the evidence, along with anyone who knows anything.
Don't worry, Snake. I'll stop the nuclear strike.
How?
I may be only a figurehead here, but I'm still officially in command of this mission. If I issue an order to delay the strike, it'll confuse the chain of command and at least buy you some time. It'll give you a chance to escape.
But Colonel, if you do that...
It's okay, Snake. The truth is, Foxhound was already the subject of an undercover investigation. Merrill was transferred to this base just before the terrorist attack as a way of manipulating me.
Those bastards.
I'm sorry. They forced me to cooperate in exchange for her life. You'd better get out of there, Snake.
Are you sure? It'll be bad for you.
Don't worry. It's the least I can do for you after all the lies.
Colonel.
I'm ordering them to cancel the bombing run. After that, there's no turning back. Huh? What are you doing?
Snake!
Mei Ling, what happened to the Colonel?
I don't believe it!
What happened?
Snake, the Colonel!
Roy Campbell has been relieved of duty. This is the Secretary of Defense, Jim Hausman.
Put the Colonel back on.
He's been placed under arrest for leaking top-secret information and for the crime of high treason.
Ridiculous.
Yes, he is a ridiculous man. He truly believed that he was in command of this operation.
You bastard.
There won't be a speck of evidence left.
Fucking hot
I'm
cold
sure
one.
the President would want the same thing.
The President ordered this?
The President is a busy man. I have complete authority here.
How do you plan on explaining a nuclear attack on Alaska to the media?
Don't worry. We've prepared a convincing cover story. We'll simply say that the terrorists exploded a nuclear device.
Damn it! You'll be murdering everyone here. The scientists, the Genome Army, everyone.
Donald, the DARPA chief, is already dead.
So you didn't mean to kill the DARPA chief after all.
He was my friend.
And you could care less about what happens to everybody else, huh?
Well, if you give me the optic disc, I might consider saving them.
What are you talking about?
Metal Gear's test data. Donald was supposed to bring it back.
I don't have it.
I see. Oh well, that's okay. You two are an embarrassment from the 1970s. Our country's dirty little secret. You can't be allowed to live. You're just the lingering ghosts of a system that is no more. Well, do try to get along in the time you have left before the bomb.
Oh, there's no way out for us. Let's finish this before the airstrike. You stole everything from me. I shall nullify you and your genes, and I will take them all back. She'll make a beautiful sacrifice for our final battle. Do you see this? This will be the time limit for our final battle. When death comes for this girl, this nuclear module shall vanish from this world as well. If you win, you might still be able to save her. You could enjoy one brief moment of love before the end.
You're gonna miss the big fight. But you have a good night, Shadow. Thanks for coming by.
And if you cross this line, you'll fall. At this height, it'll kill even you. How about you, Snake?
Let's see if I fare better in this than in PS1. Oh!
Better hurry! It's going to blow!
I want the dog tags. Ow. Oh yeah, he's gonna kick my ass. Nope.
Better hurry! It's going to blow!
Alright, let's try that again. I was kicking his ass. Doesn't look like he's taking any damage falling off the ledge though. So I think I'm just wasting time doing that. Ow. Damn it. Ah!
Nice going, Snake.
You run around more than Gray Fox. I can build a stun lock here.
What's wrong, Snake?
Damn it. I think that was the problem that I had for PS1. I was too used to this. Thinking I couldn't hit him. Ow. Damn it. Okay, if he puts his dukes up, then he's ready for it.
Is that all you've got? Better hurry! It's going to blow!
I think I figured you out. Maybe not.
Is that all you've got? What?
Stay over there. I'm running out of time.
You're out of time!
Blammo! Why are you laughing? You blew up too. Damn it.
What's wrong, Snake?
Oh, Jesus.
What's wrong, Snake?
God damn it. I can get him, I just need to be quick and not fuck it up.
Is that all you've got?
Ow.
What?
God damn it!
You're out of time!
I was kicking his ass. The freaking shoulder check sucks.
Is that all you've got? What's wrong,
Stay in that corner. Damn it. Damn it!
You're out of time!
One jab. Thanks for ringing the bell. Somewhere big bosses are going like, that doesn't look like CQC at all.
Snake!
Snake wins. Liquid.
Meryl. Meryl.
Snake? Is that you? Snake, you're alive. Thank God.
Meryl. Meryl, are you okay?
Are you okay? Is that all you can say?
Meryl, you must have been terrible.
It wasn't that bad. I didn't give in to the torture.
Torture?
And things even worse than that. I was fighting too. Just like you.
You're a strong woman.
Fighting them made me feel closer to you. I felt like you were there with me. It gave me the strength to go on. But I was scared.
I can see the future.
I'm sorry.
Don't say that. But it made me realize something. During all the pain and shame, there was one thing I was sure of. A single hope that I held on to. And that hope kept me alive. Snake, I wanted to see you again.
Meryl.
Awkward.
That's my codec.
Snake, it's me. It looks like you stopped Rex.
Otacon, good news. Meryl's okay.
All right! You saved her, man! Good job!
I got some bad news, too. We're about to be bombed.
Oh boy. I guess we're considered expendable.
Is there a way out of here?
A way out? Yeah. You can take the loading tunnel to the surface. There's a parking garage right next to you. The tunnel leads from there to the surface.
The door in front?
No, it's a small entrance to the west of that door.
How about the security?
I just unlocked it. Who do you think you're talking to? I'll take care of security along your escape route, too.
What are you going to do?
Me? I'll stay here.
Are you crazy?
I need a little more time to take care of your escape route.
But...
unlocking the security doors is difficult work. Only I can do it.
Otacon!
Don't worry. I'm staying here. It's my own decision.
Otacon, this is a hardened shelter, but they're going to use a surface-piercing nuclear bomb. It won't hold.
I'm through regretting the past. Life isn't all about loss, you know? Snake, I'm a complete person now. I've found a reason to live.
Good. Don't die on me.
Same to you. Take care of Meryl, okay?
I will.
Okay, I gotta go. I promise I'll do something about your escape route.
Thanks.
Thanks. Oh, that sounds nice.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Snake.
It was in that moment Snake knew Otacon was a bro.
Let's get the hell out of here.
What about him? Where is Otacon?
He's fighting right now. With his old self. To be the man he wants to be.
He's fighting for us too?
Yeah, and I don't want it to be in vain.
Me too.
They're holding hands.
Snake.
Meryl.
Yeah. Never mind.
It started.
I must be heavy.
Looks like we're not gonna have a love scene after all.
Looks that way. Too bad.
Let's get out of here.
Snake, it's freezing outside. You need some clothes.
You're one to say.
There's my sneaking suit.
Hurry up! Hurry! Looking good, Snake. Hurry!
1 second. Oh, I got one of those. Oh, never mind. 2.
Let me drive. Damn, a surveillance camera.
Damn it, Meryl.
Oh no, no key.
Oh, jeez.
All right, keys.
Oh, there you go.
Snake, it started. Get in. Fire that machine gun with the weapon button.
Taka!
It's a checkpoint, Snake.
Here they come!
You'll never make it. Snake, clear a path. It's a checkpoint, Snake.
Here they come!
You'll never make it. Snake, clear a path.
Not yet, Snake!
Why won't you die?
It's not over yet!
Oh, I'm sure she's a better driver than I am with a Warthog. And I'm just gonna hold down the trigger. Ow! Stop that!
Look, Snake, daylight!
Some more ridiculousness.
We're gonna crash!
so ridiculous. And he just headbutts him, didn't even bother to throw a punch. So good.
Meryl, are you okay? Damn. Snake. Snake!
Do you need to go poop?
Fox? Die.
Oh wait, he's not done yet. I don't know where exactly Ocelot ran off to, but he found his way off the base.
If he's dead,
You know Ocelot.
that means...
Don't say it, Snake.
What happened to the air raid? No stealth bombers in sight.
Snake, can you hear me?
Colonel!
Are you okay?
Colonel, what happened?
The Secretary of Defense has been arrested. Early retirement.
Arrested?
I was able to get into contact with the President. Metal Gear, the training exercise, all of it. It was all the Secretary of Defense acting alone.
Acting alone? What happened to the air raid and the nuclear strike?
The orders were rescinded. The F-117s and the B-2 bombers have returned to the base. Once again, I have complete authority over this operation.
I see.
Washington isn't stupid enough to use nukes to cover up a few secrets.
I wonder about that.
In any case, the danger's over. Thanks, Snake.
Colonel, you can rest easy. Meryl's fine.
Really? Thanks. Thank you, Snake. Snake, I'm sorry I kept a lot of things from you.
It's okay, Colonel.
Snake, I'm not a colonel.
Oh, that's right.
I've got a present for you. There's a snowmobile close to you. Mei Ling saw it on the satellite photos. This time of year, the glaciers are pretty calm. You should be able to ride right out of there. I'll bet the boys at the DIA and the NSA never expected you to come home alive.
I'd better not show my face around there.
No danger of that. You two officially died after your Jeep sank into the ocean.
That's not too far from the truth.
There's also a helicopter waiting for you at the Fox Islands.
Dr. Hal Emmerich should be somewhere on the base. I want someone to bring him in.
I understand. Leave it to me.
Okay. Roy. Are you going to be okay?
Don't worry. I've got an insurance policy. A hard copy of all of Mei Ling's data. As long as I've got that, You, me, and Mei Ling will be fine.
The battery on these nanomachines will run out soon. They won't be able to follow us.
I guess we won't meet again.
Don't worry. I'll pay you a visit sometime.
Really? I'll look forward to that.
Roy, just tell me one thing.
What?
About Foxdie.
Meryl will be fine. She wasn't included in its programming.
What about me? It killed Liquid.
Naomi said she wants to talk to you face to face about that.
How is she?
Don't worry. Mei Ling's with her right now. I'm switching over to Naomi.
Snake, it's me.
Naomi?
I heard about my brother.
Frank wanted to tell you something. He told me to tell you to forget about him and to go on with your own life.
Frankie said that?
No,
Yeah.
he said relax.
He also said he'll always love you. Naomi, your brother just saved you, me, and the whole world. He fought on sheer willpower until the very end.
Maybe now he's finally found some peace. My brother was already dying. Ever since he fought with you in Zanzibar land, he's been like a ghost. A ghost looking for a place to die.
Naomi, Liquid died from Foxdie too. What about me? When am I going to go?
That's up to you.
What do you mean?
It was with your
Everybody
parents.
dies when their time's up.
And we killed. Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
So when's mine up?
It's up to you how you use the time left to you. Live, Snake. That's all I can say to you. Each person is born with their fate written into their own genetic code, inscribed into their genes. But that's not all there is to life.
Okay, yeah, it's
I
with
finally
the
realized
Otacon
that.
ending that you find
I
out that
told you
Meryl was
before,
actually
the reason that I was
Campbell's
interested
daughter.
in genes and DNA. Because I wanted to know who I was, where I came from. I thought that if I analyzed my DNA, I could find out who I was, who my parents were. And I thought that if I knew that, then I'd know what path I should take in life. But I was wrong. I didn't find anything. I didn't learn anything. Just like with the genome soldiers. You can
Is it
input
the
all
the
genetic
live action
information,
footage?
But that doesn't make them into the strongest soldiers.
I just remember the caribou.
The most we can say about DNA is that
This
its
is like
genetic
Cage and a Bears.
information houses a person's strengths or destiny.
Just runs up and punches
You mustn't
Meryl.
allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes. Humans can choose the type of life they want to live. Snake, whether you've been programmed or not isn't important. The important thing is that you choose life. And then live. Don't you think, Snake? Don't worry. I'm gonna choose life too. Until today, I've always looked for a reason to live. But from now on, I'm going to just live. Genes exist to pass down our hopes and dreams for the future through our children. Living is a link to what will come. All life is tethered to the future. Loving each other, teaching each new generation, then the world can change. I finally realized it. The true meaning of life.
You beat me by 1 second.
Look, I found this.
Let's keep it as a reminder.
Of what? A reminder of a successful mission? Or a reminder of the first time we met?
A reminder of how to live.
Huh?
Until today, I've lived only for myself. My survival instinct that tells me not to die. That's all the motive I've had in my life.
That's not just you. That's how everyone is.
I only felt truly alive when I was staring death in the face. I don't know. Maybe it's written into my genes.
What about now? What do your genes say about your future now?
Maybe it's time I live for someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah. Someone like you. Maybe that's the real way to live.
So, where to, Snake?
David. My name is David.
Okay, so where to, Dave?
I think it's time we look for a new path in life.
A new path?
A new purpose.
Will we find it?
We'll find it.
David Pliskin.
I know we'll find it.
Hey, what are those?
Caribou. To the Aleutians, the caribou is a symbol of life. It'll be spring here soon.
For us, too.
Yeah. Spring brings new life to everything. It's a time for hope. I've lived here a long time, but Alaska has never looked more beautiful. The sky, the sea, the caribou, and most of all, you.
Aww.
It's nice, isn't it? Being alive.
Come on. Let's enjoy life.
More tender than asking for overtime. You know who you are! And that is it for Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes Revisited. That is the second to last for this Revisited series. Guns of the Patriots will be put on the wheel eventually, not immediately. I'll put some other games in between. That being said, excuse me. I won't be spinning for the next game. Instead, I'm actually going to make the executive decision to make the next game Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, mostly because of budget things, not issues, but budget choices that I've got coming up, mainly because there's a lot of games coming out in March and I want to save up. So after I finish Link's Awakening, I'm not going to do any more GameFly rentals for the time being, just so I can be able to save up money. But yeah, the next one will be Link's Awakening, and then once I finish Hitman, that'll be the time I spin again. I do need to update the wheel though, but that will include, let's see, because I already cleared out almost everything that was on there, with the exception of one game. So that'll, see off the top of my head, what will be on the wheel? Project Wingman, Axiom Verge, Control, BioShock 2, I'm trying to think of other things. That's all I've got in the top of my head. But I'm sure I can probably add one or two more in there. Also, because of Batwin's little 100 game giveaway stream that he did over the weekend, I did acquire 4 Star Wars games, both Force Unleashed 1 and 2, as well as Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and I will be adding that to the backlog of games, not immediately, but it will be on the docket, and because I do want to give those games a try. Will it be before Jedi Survivor? Maybe, maybe not. We'll just have to see. Yeah, that's what I figured. I know Knights of the Old Republic are really long, so I think I might hold off on that until I eventually finish Dead Space, BioShock, and Mass Effect. Once I get those 3 down, I can clear that out and close the book on that, and then start have Knights of the Old Republic be its own thing. But yeah, I'm not going to focus on getting a lot of new games for the next few months or so. I'm just going to focus on finishing up the backlog of what I've got, and that will include things like, Resident Evil 3 Nightmare Run, which I have been holding off for like years. Not sure on the Ghost of Tsushima Kurosawa run. That might be put on hold for a little bit longer. And we still have Punch-Out Wii to go through, as well as the 100 subscriber, not 100 follower special stream milestone special. I know there's some mix of words in there, where myself and Mike will be playing Mother Gunship in a Jon-El Gaming version, or edition rather, of Lost in the Sauce. I still need to get that scheduled. But yeah, even with the holidays coming up, I have no intention of stopping or slowing down. I mean, you know, the holidays are coming, but it's not like I'm going out of town or anything. But internet permitting, I'm going to keep it going. So tomorrow will be more Hitman. I've got one more mission left, and then I've got a whole bunch of contracts that Batwin has made for me. I don't know how long they are. Apparently it's got its own narrative, but it shouldn't take me more than 2 more sessions. But after Wednesday's session, Friday will be finally coming back, again, internet permitting, to Friday Free Play, where myself and the rest of the lazy streamers who joined me for the last game will join me again for Dungeons & Dragons Shadow over Mystara. So that's something to look forward to. Next week, next Monday and Tuesday, will be the start of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. And then whatever either I finish Hitman or whatever I spin up next for the following Wednesday.
You mustn't allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes.
Also, I really hope that whole song
the
didn't
type of life
get
they want to
muted
live.
over, because it tends to. That's why I
Snake.
spoke through that whole credits.
Whether you've been programmed or not isn't important. The important thing is that you choose life. And then live.
Yes, sir. The entire unit was wiped out. Yes. Yes, sir. Thanks to the vaccine.
It usually does,
Yes,
and it's not.
Those 2 are still alive. The Vector? Yes, sir. Fox Die should become activated soon. Right on schedule. Yes, sir. I recovered all of Rex's dummy warhead data. No, there are no other records. They've all been deleted from the base's computer. No, sir. My cover is intact. Nobody knows who I really am. Yes, the DARPA chief knew my identity, but he's been disposed of. Yes, Liquid is dead. The inferior one was the winner after all. That's right. Until the very end, Liquid thought he was the inferior one. Of course, the other one thinks so too. Yes, sir. I agree completely. It takes a well-balanced individual such as yourself to rule the world. Yes, sir. No, sir. No one knows that you were the third one, Solidus. What should I do about the woman? Yes, sir. I understand. The surveillance will continue. Yes. Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. President.
Centipede, okay. Hard. Save 16 times. Continue 11. 16 killed. So yeah, that had to be from the shootout in the cells and the shootout at the end. 12 alerts. 36 rations used. Okay. I'll take it. It's not perfect, but... yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it usually mutes it out because even though it mutes it out, it's not for that song, The Best Is Yet to Come. It's always for some, like, weird, like, either, like, spoken word or rap song that used The Best Is Yet to Come without even, like, remixing it or anything like that. They just, like, spoke over it. It's messed up. I know. But, yeah, that's it for Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes Revisited. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for possibly the conclusion of Hitman. It is that's the thing of being automated. It'll pay attention to probably like the first couple of moments of a song to recognize it, but the second something else like goes over it, it's probably already too late. I remember that last time it happened when I was using a song for pre-show for LWE. Freaking, oh god, I don't even remember what it was, but it was just some kid just like freaking troll. I don't even call it singing or whatever that shit was. You remember that? Yeah, same problem. That's the problem with the automated systems. It'll recognize the melody, but the second the lyrics start coming in, it's too late for it to even make any kind of difference. Yeah, but I digress. Anyways, again, thank you for joining me tonight. Tomorrow, again, Hitman. Links down below. The first one will take you to the Lazy Streamers Discord. There you can be able to find the rest of the Lazy Streamers, such as Oh Hey My K, the Backwin, and Gumdolph, which, by the way, hopefully, again, internet permitting, I'll be joining again on Batwin and Gumdolph's channel where we play some more Left 4 Dead. I had some internet trouble today. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But, yeah. Also others in our circle, such as Shadow Knight, Rainarchy, who I believe will be eventually coming back in the next few days, maybe. Warwick Zero, many others in our circle of like C+ content. Come hang out with us. Come be lazy with us. A lot of great stuff over there. The second link will take you to the sister site for this channel. There you can be able to find more info on other upcoming streams, including the ones that I mentioned, along with a couple of others that I have planned. And you can catch my archive, which I do need to update and actually get all the videos sorted out and all that stuff. But yeah, and if you got any questions, comments, or concerns that you would like me to know about, or any suggestions that you might have for me for future Let's Plays or Retro Nights, head on over to the contact page and shoot them out to me over there. Also, scroll down below or off to the side, depending which platform you're watching from, to catch many other streamers that I personally like to watch and follow. Check them all out wherever you can. They're all great. And again, thank you for joining me tonight for this finale of Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes Revisited. It's still one of my favorite games. My first Metal Gear Solid game, obviously, and I just love playing it. So, it'll probably be a long time before I come back to this, but, oh well. Anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Till then, take care. Love it, hype. Life is good. I'll see you guys next time. Good night.